Yeah, I mean, it felt pretty likely I was going to make it in. I don't know exactly how many I had on the line going into the day, but it was quite a few, so it was just kind of come out here, you know, don't stress too much. It's just get some throws in, you know, try not to, you know, frustrate yourself at all, and just, you know, get ready for, you know, the actual tournament starting this weekend. I think it's probably going to take double digits of some kind. I think someone will come out here and shoot, you know, a 6 or a 7 and then put together like a 4 or 5 after. So, but yeah, it could be hotter, and you know, if it's bad weather at any point, it could also be less. But if someone really is lighting it up, you know, they could, you know, string together an 8 or 9 down going into the Sunday final round.
Yeah, I mean, I think in order to win this thing, I mean, you're going to have to get a lot of birdies. So I'm very happy with that stat, because if you're not getting a lot of birdies, you're just going to get passed and you're not going to have a chance to win. And so I'm here to win, and I think that's kind of the mindset tomorrow, is just attack a lot of birdies. Yeah, you might get a bogey or a double bogey here or there. I'm looking to shoot right around 12, 13 under. I think that's going to be what it's going to take to win over these next 2 rounds. Like I said, I have the aggressive shots and the birdies in my bag to make a lot of birdies.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the finals of the 2023 Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship here at Nevin Park, aka the Matt Keats Memorial. We've made it to the weekend, and we're down to 12 players, and we're playing for a lot of money, Paul.
Yeah, 12 of the best on the planet, playing the hottest on the planet, and they have the hardest course to battle it out on. That is for sure.
36 holes away from one of these players making the most expensive putt of their life on the hardest hole in the course, hole 18. That is going to be a special moment, and Calvin Heimburg really solidified himself as a favorite going into the weekend with his incredible play, starting the semifinals off with 6 under. But from there, he shot the hottest of the entire field. So really feeling like he is in a groove here at Nevin Park. But accuracy off the tee is paramount here at Nevin, and Gannon, Buhr, and Isaac Robinson can find themselves splitting fairways with the best of them. Gannon, such an incredible season this year. 3 wins on the Pro Tour, 2 wins in the Silver Series for a combined 5 wins on the tour this year. Incredible season for him. And Ricky Wysocki, the top 4 players in the Disc Golf Pro Tour, are here on the lead card. They all made it through the semifinals. And what a pleasure it will be to see them attack this course.
Yes, you are right. Hole 1, par 3, 419. You see him played all weekend, drifted from left to right. You ain't going to see any sidearms, just a nice little fairway driver or mid-range that comes from the left side with the Anheuser, hopefully settling into that green. Really nothing you should worry about on this hole. They all have the distance to kind of just burn it over. You just got to miss a couple of the Guardians.
Calvin's been throwing this hole very well all week. And once again, this is looking near perfect. And that is just a carbon copy of what he did yesterday on this hole. He did end up missing his putt.
Up next, let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Isaac Robinson.
Obviously, Calvin's putt is something we'll be watching today. And the pressure picks up a little bit. Sometimes Calvin misses his putts low. If he can make his putts this week, he's got to be your favorite.
I love how they're just burning it into the ground to take the speed off, you know?
Not even trying to do the low or the soft
Next
turn.
on the tee,
Just
let's make some noise for Mr. Gannon, Buhr.
take some speed, burn it on over in there. I like that play. I like that call, Paul.
This does look a little bit faster, and it's a little bit tugged inside. He's going to need some love.
Seen him do that a few times this week. He's kind of just barely missing the line here on hole 1.
You know what, though? With Gannon, I'll let them call
Rounding
Ricky
out
real
our
quick.
card, please help me welcome Mr. Ricky Wysocki.
You mentioned that he's trying to do those hyzer flips. What I've noticed from going from a hyzer flip to left to right force over shot, your tendency is going to pull it when you're trying to switch in between.
This is pretty wide for Ricky. It's got to have a
mid-range.
lot of turn. Okay.
Ooh.
And gets caught with a very rude branch there on the opening of the gap. That'll be a long putt, but Ricky has made some serious distance in putts here on hole 1 through the first 2 rounds.
Surprised to see him just lay up from there. So you usually see green light go from that distance from Gannon.
Oh, this is a much tougher line, though. Ricky doesn't quite have a good look at it.
Yeah, he's not going to be nailing
Every
55 footers every single time on hole 1. He could.
Yeah,
But he didn't.
Yeah, he had a pretty good rate going into the round. And Isaac will be low. So potential flip situation for Calvin, as he was the only player to not birdie hole 1 yesterday. And he becomes the only player to birdie in the round that actually matters. Obviously, getting into the finals matters a lot for those guys, but they all had so many strokes from the cut line that it was a pretty comfortable round for our lead group yesterday.
You know, one thing I've been finding very fascinating about these players is, especially this card's best putters we have on tour, pretty much. If you look how different the styles are from player to player, it's one of the most beautiful things about our game. How
I
you
love
get,
that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
totally.
Sometimes the throws are a little similar from points of position. But if you look at where all these positions are, they're all so different. And the way that they get it there, they put the spin on is so different. And they're all just great.
I mean, I've been trying to mock Ricky Wysocki's putt for years. I've been trying to do what Gannon does for the last 2 years to try to figure out how to get that movement, but it's unique to him and the way his body is put together. His body composition is just different from everyone else on tour, and therefore the way they get it done is going to be different. Hole 2, very tough par 3 blind off the tee. Got to get that thing moving from left to right. Calvin going to be going with a rock.
Honestly, pretty much the same shot they just did, just with a mid-range.
And that is turned over. That's going to be deep C2, if not even outside C2.
This one's become kind of a problem. You either pure it or you take a bogey or double.
I like how this hole has been really well implemented to this course. This hole was cut out for the Pro Tour Championships last year. This is a new-ish hole. It's only a year and a couple of weeks old. But it is a very demanding, tough par 3. Isaac a little early with the turn. Gannon a little bit too straight, and that just goes deep and long. Should be an easy par, though.
It's so funny watching that disc. You're waiting.
Doesn't hit anything.
No.
Never hits a thing.
Uh-oh.
And Ricky, who found trouble in this hole, round 1, taking a double bogey, hits an early tree. He did come back and birdie it in round 2, hoping that he can minimize the damage here and get up and down for the par.
Sit.
What? Well, that's a great scramble shot. Still has to make a putt from the edge of circle. Isaac running into some trouble here. That's going to require about a 30-foot putt, if not more.
Yeah, that might be a bit outside the circle right there.
Come on.
Oh, boy.
Calvin Heimburg.
How do you find this spot? Between the trees. Gotcha.
I feel like we've seen every single shot Calvin's thrown all season long.
We really have.
He just lives on Jomez. It's been fantastic watching him this year. We spent so much time focusing on the moments where he just hasn't quite lived up to our own expectations of his putting, but then he gives us moments like that just so often where we just got to admire it. Yeah, that's a great scramble par for Rick.
Ricky is just putting lights out this week.
Yeah, he is.
I said it before. The way this guy's playing on this course, kind of like last year, scary, scary man.
Mm-hmm.
This is a scary, scary man, too.
Oh,
so a woodsman
yes.
like him, get him rolling.
No, we didn't really talk much about the conditions. It rained a bit overnight and maybe into the early morning a bit. And when that happens and you're tracking mud that is all over the ground here at Nevin, the tee pads are a little slick. Hitting your line, it gets a little bit tougher off these tee pads. Some of these tee pads were poured in 2010 and they're starting to show some wear and tear. So they get a little bit slick on the top end. That makes it very difficult to commit to these long line of shots that these guys have to throw to stay in the fairway here at Nevin.
Now let's go into hole 3, par 4, 630, right to left bender. You're going to see a few backhand hyzers, probably putters, mid-range, fairways. Then big left to right shot into here. One of the classic holes here at Nevin Park. Sidearm turnover from Ricky if he stays true to form.
Yeah, maybe even Gannon as well.
Oh, yeah.
But Isaac and Calvin going to line up the backhand, which minimizes the length that you can get off the tee, but it also gets you into nice position. If you put it there, it'll be a long turnover second shot for Calvin. And Isaac
misses that tree.
Misses the one that, yes, that's right. Be in a similar spot to Calvin. And that's overturned. That's going to roll out a little bit, I fear. Yep. Right idea. Like taking something pretty overstable, putting it high with a lot of angle so it really shapes the fairway as well as possible. Ricky, that's an okay shot, but he's going to have a series of trees right in front of him that are going to guard his unimpeded throw.
This is just a power play right here. Get it to the fairway. A little up from there. This is a tight turnover. I like how he's going fast, stable. Get it in a lot of anhyzer so it comes out quick.
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, that puts
great.
him in. That's really good. Really good ground play after it found the earth. Calvin going to try to match that line.
Little inside. He's going to have to beat those. He does.
Yes, Calvin. Right at the edge of circle one.
What an awesome shot.
An opportunity to get 3 down through 3. What a hot start he's off to.
Oh, almost home.
Yeah, that would have
Head of
taken a
puppers.
huge skip. Oh, yeah. And
What did I do?
And Gannon unable to get out and clean up. He's going to have to get up and down from here to save the bogey. And a good scramble shot.
Yeah. Easy hold a bogey once you get off to the left or the right. Because it leaves you at least 250 in to even save the par.
I thought his approach shot was better than it ended up being.
Same.
And yeah, the fact that he found the woods again, I wonder if that had bad ground play, maybe kicked a tree, or if it just flew in there. It's hard to say from our angle.
This will give us a good indication where this kid's at with his stroke.
Right in the middle is where he's at.
Pretty good. The indication says pretty good. I like the way he putts.
After seeing Ezra's incredible, his brother's putting yesterday, as we look at Calvin's putt for birdie, just a little bit low. Nate Sexton had a funny line on live where he just said that it's the family business.
Yeah.
Just good putting is in the family business. And he couldn't be more right about it. Those two account for, I would imagine, at least 20% of the C2 putts made for the field every round. The only problem is Isaac usually in the circle because he throws it so well, so he doesn't even have to make that many C2 putts.
Scary combo, those brothers. You don't want to play them at dubs.
Introducing the Grip 6 belt, the only belt on the market with the no gut pinch guarantee. The Grip 6 is so light and thin that you'll barely even notice it's there. Its smooth, low-profile design makes this belt the most comfortable belt in the world. Overly confident much? You're damn right. Because on top of being the most comfortable belt in the universe, each Grip 6 belt comes with our A3 guarantee, meaning if you don't like any belt for any reason at any time or in any condition, you can just contact us and we'll give you a full refund.
Flying over hole 4, 710-foot par 4. Want to land right about here, setting yourself up for a nice 370-plus foot approach to this basket that has been lengthened by about 80 to 90 feet. It is nearly instant bogey if you kick right. And if you go too far left off the tee, you are going to be well out of position. So keeping it in the middle, very, very important. Probably a mid-range off the tee. Maybe even putter.
This is pulled. It better be very overstable and miss that middle guy.
Yeah,
he has done all of them. It's stable. It missed the middle guy. He threw it well.
Do you think the play is right side of that middle tree or left side?
I think right side to be in the middle of the fairway, for sure.
Calvin chooses early side, or at least that's where the disc ended up flying. But that tree is right in the middle. And that's the one that Ricky hit yesterday when he kicked back into the woods. And I believe he took a double bogey. And at that time, this was during the finals, it looked like Isaac Robinson had locked up the win. But Ricky Wysocki obviously pulling out the heroics and going into a playoff. That's the same mistake I think we saw Gannon make in round one when he ended up taking a triple bogey on this hole. And
horrible reaction.
That was just unkind. Unkind. Not a good shot on his part, but that did not need to roll off the fairway like that. And now he is just in position where the other guys are off the tee.
Well, you know what I think about this shot?
Stock for Calvin.
Stock hyzer around the corner.
It's just perfect.
Go in.
Oh, gonna roll back towards it a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing. It was like same distance on the other side, go to the other side.
Sure. He'll have to make a putt from 27 feet away.
Ooh, this is inside. There are a couple trees. No trees.
Yeah. Ricky with a nice drive, or second drive.
There's a drive. Do a driver.
Yeah.
A lot to love about that. See what I mean about when they're throwing those hyzer things?
They do them pretty good, like, and stuff. Pretty good, like. Let's see if Gannon can get up and down. Save the par.
Ew.
No. Look, I'm not one to tell Gannon what to do, but I can't imagine the Vans that he's wearing have any traction on this ground out here with the wet leaves and the mud. That's a good shot from there, but it's going to be a bogey. I wonder about his grip from the fairway.
Both rounds he's left himself just outside, just inside, and missed them both.
Wow,
Calvin,
what a start.
Calvin just does that. He should be 4 for 4. He's not. He missed a putt low. Go figure. He's beating the card.
And Ricky getting his first birdie this round. A surprise considering he had amounted, I think, a total of 2 pars on the front nine in the first 2 rounds. 2 or 3, I think, in total.
Guy's a birdie machine out here so far, but you're right. He has gone. That's cold for Ricky's standards for sure.
He's turned into a parakeet. Just forgot the birdies. That was a bad one. I tried. You know what? It's the championship. I get to try to do fun things too. I'm not playing. Calvin Heimburg, though, 3 under.
He ain't playing.
Yeah, he is not messing around right now, folks.
Look at Joel Freeman. Scary kind of guy to be in there. That guy's always a wild card. I always think the person who hasn't broke through and won one of these,
scary.
Be careful of that guy.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because you never know when it's going to be his time.
Also, be careful of the upcoming fathers. You know, Joel Freeman is soon to be father, and he's got something more to play for. Remember Emerson Keith when he was playing the World Championships? When the kid was on the way, he almost won that thing back in Peoria. So Joel Freeman maybe had a little bit extra motivation. Well, Calvin doesn't seem to be fazed by playing well. This drive is nearly perfect.
I think it is perfect, Jerm. I think that's where you want to be.
There's like a little crease in that hillside, and if you get past that, then you've known that you've absolutely ripped your drive, and Calvin's about 80 feet past it. Just stop going right, and it's going to be great. And it hyzer just in time. This is even better than Calvin's.
That's what I was telling you he was doing. He was flexing it over those and stalling it back.
Whoa, that is incredible.
Remember when I said he doesn't throw it far enough to get in trouble?
Yeah, he just puts the parachute, and that's the crease. That's a great drive, but you can see Calvin just keeping it low ends up getting so much farther past that. So far, 3 great drives, and this one's just gonna not quite get to past the top of the hill.
Well, he did look down. I think you're onto something as far as that footwear. He was disgusted at the tip head. Oh, pulls it a little bit. Gonna get away with it, though.
I mean, comfort's huge here. You know, you have to be comfortable. You know, I will say I was covering Chase Card, and Kyle Klein did a very similar thing. Put it to the top of the hill, threw a remarkable second shot, ended up getting the birdie from there. So he's not out of position for the birdie still, but it's going to require a remarkable third shot.
Yeah. Yeah, he's about 420 to the pin, 400.
Isaac, can he stay clean? Okay, the right side is way better, way preferable to the left side. That being said, it's still going to have a lot of trees in the way on his next shot.
See, I like where he is because he can just throw the fat fairway right there with a stable disc. He tries it just a little bit too fast. I think the play is not to try to get all the distance. If you play something short of that grove of trees,
then you're looking straight at it.
Straight at it. Yeah. Easiest birdie ever. But these guys are so greedy. They think that eagles are like the best things in the world.
Greedy. How much of a rip did Ricky just put on that one? He ended up missing his line, but I think you're talking about for sure playing for eagle.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Gannon, who's already 2 over par, in danger of getting another bogey here if he doesn't come up with a remarkable save.
Look. Oh, boy.
And Ricky's in trouble now as well. Calvin trying to get back into position. Forehand turnover, and it plays Plinko and ends up getting down to a place where he should be able to scramble something up to the pin. That is a beautiful angle on what Gannon had to the pin. That is a beautiful shot. Still has to make a putt from 35 feet to save the par. A good look at what you're left with if you find yourself on the high side of the hill, and Ricky gets through a few things.
How far?
I can't tell because those whiskers are those for the short pin. Oh God, I'm gonna say 31 feet.
Okay, we gotta hold you to that. You're a professional.
But it might be 15. I don't know. Isaac, he's got to look for birdie.
Yes.
And Calvin just pitching it up, hitting the koozie. We'll be tapping in the par. 3 through 5, still a great pace.
That's outside the circle. Well outside the circle, Jerm.
Okay, 33 feet, man. I don't know. I think that's a pretty good call from what little information I had.
You said 31.
I know. Good par save for Ricky, though. Gannon is going to take a turkey now of bogeys. I don't know if that's the right way of... No!
That stings.
Oh, hadn't seen that this week. Unfortunate spit out for Isaac. Played the hole great. Ends up taking a par. As does Calvin. And bogey for Gannon. And man, this event doesn't allow you to get on a lull. I mean, Calvin already 6 shots clear of Gannon. And right now, I believe Gannon Buhr, it's 12. He's in 12th place out of 12 players. And there's a big pay difference between each spot as you go all the way up to that 40K for first place. So important to keep your nose to the ground and just keep grinding out here, because you are potentially losing so much money if you lose focus. If you start getting down on yourself, every stroke could potentially be a $4,000 or $5,000 stroke. So you have to stay focused as we enter the 6th hole, a demanding par 5 that covers a ton of distance and a big chunk of the park actually as well.
Does this get in front? Yeah. Yeah, it does.
We've seen Ricky go with a monster second shot on this hole where he was down to the bottom of the hill putting for eagle in round 1. A good aggressive tee shot here is going to hyzer in time, I believe. Yes.
So good.
He's got this hole's number down, man.
Stall play from Isaac. And that's just fine. He'll go with a roller from there, I believe, has been his play.
Important time for Gannon to get things going in the right direction. Birdieable par 5. I thought this hole was going to play fits for the field, but after seeing the way Ricky tore it up in round 1, it changed my mind a bit. You called it. Isaac going roller, second shot. This needs to get off to the right side before the grass swallows it up. And it's moved over there well enough. I think he should have a decent angle.
I think that's fantastic.
Calvin going inside tight line. Does he get through it?
I don't see it.
Oh, and that's right side of the hills. Oh, it's in the neighborhood. It's out of bounds, and I don't know what he'll have from that guarded right side. He might not have anything for the next shot.
Yeah, he's going to be behind those bushes, man.
Oh, Calvin's going to pay a big price for getting aggressive. Gannon, a decent shot.
Curious to see if Ricky tries to do the big old thing. That might be really good.
It's hard to say if that hillside is going to be in the way for his trajectory angle for the next shot. That's my only concern.
Look at this. He's actually going for it. Inside. And he
What?
made it over.
On
What?
earth.
Why would you even go for it from there? That's crazy.
Unbelievable shot.
Look at the gap.
Oh my God.
That guy's a crazy horse.
I would have never imagined. And Gannon going over the top. That's a shot we haven't seen yet.
The grenade.
That was a grenade. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Not quite sure where that ended up, but he didn't seem to be upset with it.
Seems like Isaac's just really good at this shot right here.
It seems like it.
It's a great birdie to get. He's going to go to 2 under.
And Ricky, very low ceiling here.
Yeah.
Very tough shot. And it's going to be heading right, and it stays in bounds. That's not going to be an easy angle.
He's going to try to jump putt.
Oh, wow. And how close can you even get from there? Jumping over the out of bounds line.
But he's got 45 for par now.
Wow.
Here's where the grenade ended up. You know what? I think he was close enough, especially being that many over par, that he could have just gone over and risked it, I think. Like just a hyzer.
And Ricky, wow, has he been saving par? Look at that putter. Once again, he's disgusted with how much trouble this hole's given him so far. But once again, relying on the putter and coming away scotch-free.
Scotch.
No scotch on this hole.
Scotch. Yummy.
I don't know why that just reminds me of a Charlotte legend, 3-time Masters World Champion and course designer extraordinaire, Stan McDaniel. Used to play disc golf with him quite a bit in my early days, and if you were beating him, he would used to punish your good shots with shots of moonshine.
I was talking about like Anchorman.
Sure.
Yeah. 'Cause that's like what we're kind of doing, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of our job.
There's no scotch here, promise.
Calvin Heimburg still on top at 3 under through 6.
Feeling great starts with a great shave. Today, the world is in the palm of your hand. or at least this can is. For over 100 years, Barbasol, it's a can of can-do.
Oh, I think you heard Scotch because that's what I said. It's scot-free. I don't know what. That's a perfect Jermism. I just get them close to right, and I get them, yeah, scot-free, of course. Anyways, moving on to hole 7. Paul, you want to cover this one?
I got you, man. Hole 7, par 4, 700 feet. Right down the tubes. Big tree right in the middle of the way, but this has been causing problems. Really tight gap there that you can see. If you get through that gap, you got to miss one. There's out of bounds that is on the left side the whole way, which makes this shot that Isaac's throwing and turning away, not even looking at, really good.
It's just beautiful. That result isn't going to match the level of quality of that throw, unfortunately, because he just came up a bit short.
And Calvin's switching from fairway to mid-range now. So it seems like he's trying to learn on the fly here.
And just another gorgeous drive. Learn on the fly. Yeah. That's a good one. Good double entendre.
All right. Talk about double.
What?
This has got a chance.
What is going on with the blurry eye vision?
That's out of bounds from Rickster, and that's really short.
It becomes, I don't want to say, it's not impossible to save the par from there. It's just going to require a 10 out of 10 difficulty to.
Really?
And execution, yeah, because he's far enough back that the problem is that if you go that sidearm shot for where Ricky's going to be, as we look at Gannon's second shot here, out of position, trying to get back to the fairway at the bottom of the hill, is that with the sidearm that he's going to have to throw, it's a hillside from left to right, and it gets almost impossible to skip up the hill. So you have to air it, yet the ceiling is low on that left side. It's just very, very, very tricky.
Oh.
What a creative effort for Calvin, trying to go flick roller.
Over a log. Ambitious.
That wasn't a thumber roller, right? That was a flick roller?
I think so, yeah. Look like it. From a knee.
See if this skips. Now, we'll never get to know because the child, not only does it not skip, it rolls the opposite direction. But that was a very well thrown shot from Ricky. Just didn't get away with it. And look at that shot for Isaac. Look what he's left with. That inside tunnel is really the only way to the pin, and it's just guarded with so many prominent trees. Very tough to get the birdie here on 7.
Not the best kick ever, but that'll be fine. 25 down the hill.
And nice shot from that one.
Good save. He doesn't need saves. He needs birdies quickly.
Correct. But he does stick it close. Like a scotch. No. Scotch tape. I'm done. I'm so sorry. Good shot from Calvin. That'll be a par. Ricky save again. Oh, and he tries running it in. And his putter hasn't hit the ground this round yet. Surprised by that one not dropping in time.
Yeah, that one needed to duck a little bit. Tape.
So Ricky will be suffering his first bogey. Oh, yeah, duck. Got it. All right. That's good.
Is this are we getting to the point where it's becoming a slow start for these guys? I mean, Calvin's kind of calmed down. We're through 7.
Yeah, the Ricky and Gannon, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, now
Gannon's
look at the
still
whole
in 12th place.
the whole field is
Well, I'm telling you, I think
they're still beating everybody except for Kyle.
this course gets exponentially more difficult when it rains. It's just that traction just sends you can't quite trust your footwork enough. And you're seeing a lot of players put towels down on the tee pads, maybe not so much on this card, but it's happening on the other 2 cards. And it's because they just don't quite trust themselves not slipping a little bit. And if you can't have full trust on your line, you're more than likely going to pull it one way or the other. Hole 8, we've seen our cards tear this hole up, but this time Isaac will find early left side tree. Should be a pretty standard approach, not much in the way from there. And that was just going to happen from the moment it left his hand. So playing a little difficult right now. Calvin, the first spot of danger he's found himself in so far this round. And Gannon just cannot quite find a line right now.
No, he's all over the place. Left, right, right, left. That's what this place will do to you, too. You try to make the correction, and it's just all the holes are tight. You can't really get a free swing, you know?
And that one looks good for Ricky. The card finally has one across the creek. Yeah. Nearly identical to round 2. That'll be 15 feet left.
Look at where Calvin is. He's deep in the thicket. It finds a little gap. Let's see the catch cam over the top. Wow. I didn't think it was coming in on that angle. That was fantastic. Great imagination there. Ooh, we're getting to see the little sidearm. Very good.
Yeah, when I said not much in the way, I meant beside the thing that he's directly behind. Once you can step around that, it should be pretty good. And Gannon's in hurry-up offense mode right now. Did the same thing on round 1 on this very hole. Just turn your brain off and throw one close.
Kind of a big putt right there for Calvin to stay 3 under, and he just drills it.
That's a good scramble.
Mm-hmm. Ricky to get back to 1 under. In there.
Okay. He's in below par numbers now.
Yeah, those better than most of the field that we just saw. I figure a lot of those guys are going to get hole 8 as well, though, because
gettable hole.
This is one that you kind of have to get.
Course doesn't give you too much, but this little stretch 8, 9, 10.
You got to get a few.
You got to get a couple of them. Even 11. 11's pretty tricky.
The little par 3 down the hill.
Par 3 down the hill. I mean, it's definitely not an easy birdie by any means, but I mean, compared to the rest of the course, it's about as easy as it gets.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, certainly looking to go to the back 9 with a few more birdie strokes, see if they can birdie this pretty birdieable par 4.
I feel like the field's kind of getting away with it right now. I thought through 9 holes, maybe we'd have a little better score. We haven't. And this is their last chance.
Well, this is the easier 9.
I
think most players would say the back 9 is really hard. I mean, the finishing stretch is just absolutely brutal. These are the 9 holes where you'd like to get some buffer strokes going into that really tough stretch.
With these players, you don't want to leave the door open on any of them. Because we got the top 12 best players on the planet.
Yeah.
You leave them within 4 shots on any round. That's not what you don't want to leave the field 4 shots to catch you. Because we saw Adam go 8 down yesterday, bogey free. That's possible out here.
Ricky not loving the result, didn't quite catch what happened.
I just want to see if he hits that root. Oh, that little sneaky devil.
He's unbelievable.
How amazing is that?
Just rinse and repeat, man.
Tomorrow, editors, please put all 3 of those drives together so we can see what he does before he throws. That'd be awesome.
Well, he's going to do it again, but we just have to hope that he makes it on Jomez lead card tomorrow. Because if he stays on lead card, then we'll be able to see all 4 of his drives.
Can we do it anyway?
Good drive for Calvin.
And this is a little high. It could be good, but if it skips,
here's the
could
problem.
be bad.
They hook back. With the way that the ground runs away from the fairway, the forehands, you have to push deep and let it hook back into the fairway. If you just hit the fairway, it always ends up short right.
Ricky has been throwing this pretty well with the touch of a surgeon, is what I like to say. Oh,
over the log.
Sit.
Yeah, it's going to sit.
That thing would have sat on a quarter.
Beautiful shot from Rick. And that'll be back-to-back birdies. Go ahead and call it 2 under on the front 9. Which plays?
Oh, yeah. Anything under here, I keep saying, is just fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. I think that if you're trying to win this thing, as long as you're not going even par, if you're averaging 3 under per 9 and then maybe get 1-9 where you start going off, you'll be in the mix at the end.
Yes. Even a 3 under round plays. You're leaking.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be maybe even second card, but you'll be borderline second card with a 3 under, I think.
Well, we'll see. We've seen what the course gives up. I mean, Adam Hammis, the course record yesterday, 8 under.
And what's 5 back of that?
Well, that's 3.
And 5 ain't that many out here.
No. Gannon from deep, looking for his first birdie.
Ooh, sit down, little fella.
I mean, it's got to be pretty bleak right now if you're Gannon Buhr. Just nothing going his way, unfortunately.
This would be a good way to end the front 9 right here.
This can skip OB.
It could be the worst way you can end it.
Okay, it does not skip OB, but that was in danger of birdie to bogey. What a putt.
It's really good.
And if Isaac, it's just, if you can keep doing that, man. Oh, it is birdie to bogey for Calvin. But if putting is the poor man's currency, then Isaac's no longer poor. He is a rich man at this point. He picks those things up like it's his job. And that probably is because it is his job. Ricky with a little bit of good momentum heading into the back 9. A couple birdies in a row, get him to 2 down. And that will tie Calvin now, who just went backwards. So Kyle Klein actually on a bit of a streak of birdies, getting to 4 under. He leads the field. Isaac Robinson, Joel Freeman at 3 under. Calvin Heimburg, Ricky Wysocki, Anthony Barella, Adam Hammis, all at 2. But there's a couple scores over par right now. Course is playing pretty tough.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, like you mentioned, with the wet conditions, the tee pads may be not so grippy. Plus, the fact that it's the Pro Tour Championships, are playing for a lot of money, a lot of pressure at stake on all the cards. I think that even third card is going to have that lead card feel because of how much is at stake, and see if they can calm down and get a nice back 9 for us.
Well, we are 1/4 of the way through the finals here at the Pro Tour Championships here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Come back for round 3, back 9. Are we calling this round 3? We're going to call this the final back 9 of the first round. See you in a bit.